Welcome to Icon 2018. I'm really excited for all of you and excited for all the speakers. God bless you. Icon is here because we want to encourage people while your economy is growing, while your income is gonna grow, please lang, di ba? I know you like to consume, pero iba naman invest natin. Because investing is delayed, di ba? Actually, investing is what we call deferred consumption.
I'd like this audience, this beautiful audience, to really appreciate what the power of blockchain can do to people, businesses, and even governments.
There's a saying by Dave Ramsey that personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% mindset.
For you guys who are 25, you know what? Laki ng advantage nyo eh. Because when it comes to investing, time is one of your biggest assets. Agree? Yes. And as you start investing, the longer you invest, it's not just about putting money in eh, but you will gain so much experience that, especially in the stock market, it's a tool eh. It's something that you need to sharpen on a regular basis.
There are things na parang walang kwenta. Some of those things are the best investments in your life or in your business.
When opportunity comes, you have to immediately grab it. Yes, it's your second lesson in real estate. When opportunity knocks the second time, be sure you are prepared to grab it. Yes?
SEO is basically the ability to manipulate search results. That is my business. For websites we want to rank up, we can do it.
If you want to be a successful stock market investor, day one, you should know why you are investing.
You see different opportunities as you go around, and the nice thing about it is you see what the reality is on the ground.
Know your passion. What are you fascinated about? What do you love reading? What is on your Facebook feed? Because Facebook knows what your interests are, right? So that is something you can use.
God has already given each and every one of us whatever it takes to succeed.
Nag-seminar ka, hindi ka nag-execute, what did you get? You did not get education. You got entertainment.
The reason why people do not prosper in farms is because they do not see it as a business. And farming is really a business.
Hey guys, so good evening to everyone. I'm still waiting for Sean C to join us in this live stream, but welcome back to our nightly live stream as we usher in Icon 2023, which is happening in the next few days. No, so while I'm solo, what I'm gonna do is, if you guys have any questions, put it down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. But this will be like, so over the past few days, parang we had personal finance and investing. Yesterday we had passive income. Now our guest will be like business and entrepreneurship and investing. So you can send us much questions, highly connected to that, and then we'll go about it from there. So while Sean is setting up, also we have some early people that are joining us. We have Ken, hello to you. Daniel M, hello to you as well. So we also have Adrian Mayo joining us. Hope everyone is having a great evening. So this will be a very similar to what we did the past few days. This will be a very how do I say this? Very relaxed session. This will be a very fun Q&A, and I do hope that this is something that adds value to you. If you notice, iba-iba rin per night. We have different guests with different expertise also. So while Sean is also setting up, I'll try to answer one question here from Ken, which very interesting. Tumawid sa NFTs. We have Ken asking, what's your viewpoint on NFTs? I personally hold some. Do you think the NFT is a good multiplier for ETH, Matic, or whatever token base on the chain you bought it from? That's a good question. So I've I'm a, I started learning about NFTs somewhere around 2021. I do believe there were NFTs earlier than that. So yung progression ko, I first entered crypto 2018. NFTs 3 years after pa 2021. So I know more about crypto than NFTs. Uh, what it does in terms of, you mentioned ETH, Matic, and then other tokens there, is it gives utility dun sa token nila. Kasi if you buy, for example, a meme land related NFT, meron silang captains, meron silang MVP, meron silang potatoes. They're all they're all from ETH, eh. Or ganun din, Bored Ape, even if they have their own ape coin, you still buy it using ETH. Um, it gives utility to the token, and yun yung I think something that's very interesting in terms of crypto, because a lot of people buy crypto because they see it as an opportunity na they buy it now, the value will be higher later on. Or they buy it now and then they stake it based on kung ano yung APR, APY, kung saan nila stake, or because they're helping decentralize the network, uh, they get revenue off of it, something like that. Pero what NFT does is it allows, I've seen people who really went into NFTs, or went into buying ETH or Matic, um, without knowing, with the very intent of just buying the NFTs itself. So meaning may direct use yung token other than just waiting for it to go up, or other than just taking it. So it adds what people have been talking about, na if you would want to have adoption in crypto, or at least the tokens and cryptos that are available, there must be use. And yun yung nagagawa ng yun yung nagagawa ng NFTs to a particular chain and project. So there's so much. Hindi ko na babantayan halos lahat uh, ng NFTs na available, tsaka kung saan chains siya available. There's so many. So before we continue, I'd like to welcome our guests for today. We have Sean C. He's the CEO of SEO Hacker. He's been an entrepreneur since his early 20s, so he has more than a decade's worth of entrepreneurial experience. And he's been a previous Icon speaker also. He spoke in Icon 2018. Tapos, above and beyond that, he started his business na, ano lang, siya lang mag-isa. He didn't get any capital outside, and he built the company up into a, tama ba siya? Parang nine-digit revenue company already.
Grabe naman. Di
Uh,
naman. Di.
Welcome to the show, Sean C. It's nice to have you again.
Thank you, Marvin. It's nice to be here. Isang beses lang ako naging speaker sa Icon, di ata ako nag-perform well eh. Kaya, di na ako ulit.
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. Tsaka nagka-COVID din naman. So parang you miss lang talaga 2019. Tapos wala naman din talagang on-site na Icon after that. I wanna start with this first before we answer questions from people. Given na entrepreneur ka na for like more than a decade, and ito normally question naman ng mga taong gusto mag-business, no? But comment below, guys, if you fall under the category of employee kayo na gusto nang mag-business, or business person na kayo ngayon. I just wanna get a sense of the crowd also, so we know what questions we could, or how we could go about this back and forth na question and answer. But yun, for those who would want to start a business today, May 2023, and kunyari, ano ka talaga, you're from scratch, wala kang alam sa SEO, you're an employee, tapos wala ka talagang na-start pa na business, how would you go about it, and what would be the route that you would actually take also? So, and then I'll answer.
Alam mo, Marv, parang sa stocks lang yun, tsaka investing eh, di ba? Always go with what you know. So, whatever it is that you are interested in, whatever you want to study, whatever it is that you have some inkling about. A lot of people call it passionate about, di ba? So, for me, yun yung dapat gawin mo. That's the best place to start when you want to do business. So, when I started SEO Hacker, I really was passionate about writing. Put me in a box, give me a pen and paper, and I would write the entire day, even if I'm not paid to do that. And during the early days, baka marami sa nanonood dito, hindi na nila alam yung early days, no? Hindi pa ganun kasikat yung Facebook, wala pang Instagram noon, wala pang TikTok. Maraming blogs noon. And I wrote a blog called God and You. My articles are still on the internet in my website, sean.c/ideas. And I wrote a lot, but not a lot of people were reading my stuff. So I searched around in Google, how do I increase my readers and subscribers? And I stumbled upon SEO. That's how I learned SEO because I was very much into writing. And then I realized maybe some companies need SEO kasi we're entering a Google age, the information age, and everyone is searching in Google. And if companies aren't searched for, then sana pupunta yung traffic and purchases and potential sales nila. And if they are being searched for, they're appearing in Google search results, that would amount to a massive amount of sales for them. So I was able to piece these things together. I think guided by God's wisdom and spirit na rin. And finally I said this is the business that I think I should start because wala siyang capital required and I didn't have any money during that time. If you've read my book CEO at 22, you know I started the business with just 1,300 pesos and effort, and I was a one-man team. So if you're going to start from scratch right now, I do it the way I did it. I tell you to do it the way I did it. When you're passionate about something, keep on exploring that area until you find something na, uy, parang wala pa masyadong gumagawa nito pero sobrang nakikita kong kailangan to in the future. And during that time, 2010, wala nga talagang may alam kung ano yung SEO and there were no SEO services that were known during that time. In fact, pag nakakuha ko ng meeting, tinatanong pa sa akin lagi, ano ba yung SEO? Para saan ba yan? Pero sila yung nagpa-meeting Sila yung nagpa-meeting sa akin na SEO daw yung gusto nila. So imagine that nung time na yun.
So I have a question on that, no? Kasi does that actually mean if they have not figured out ano yung gusto nila, ano passionate sila, saan sila magaling, or anong mabibigay nilang service, does that mean hindi muna dapat sila mag-business and they might need to do more research and do more studying? Is that what you're actually saying also?
Yeah, for me, that's really going to be the route muna. Kasi if you're not sure of what you really want to do in life, perhaps you haven't really sought God's calling in your life. I really believe that kasi I served in the ministry for a long time. I would write, I would create content, and for retreats as well to serve in the ministry. And that's how I realized that this is something that I would do. I'd like to write until, later in life. I'd like to keep writing and share my writings to other people. So if you haven't explored enough in life, and I understand because life is busy, diba? Sa school, we always are encouraged to get the best grades possible. So we study, we keep our head low and just really delve into our studies. And then so work, ganun din. We have a lot of work. And then we have a lot of entertainment. Right now, we have TikTok, Netflix, YouTube, you name it. Hindi ka mauubusan. Before, nung panahon namin ni Marvin, Street Fighter, Tetris lang yung mga laro, di ba? Tsaka Galaxia ba yun? So, ngayon, ang dami na. Hindi ka na mauubusan ng games. Galaga. So, di ba? So, hindi ka na mauubusan. Kaya,
pero may question dun is, how long do they do that? Kasi parang madami ako nakikita na may mga kasabay ako nung fresh grad ako na parang yun din plano din nila mag-business pero sobrang tagal nila mahanap yun na hanggang ngayon parang 16, 17 years later wala pa silang na-start. Should they put a deadline also to it na kahit anong parang kahit wala pa ako maisip, I have to force myself already to at least do something kasi parang napapansin ko people become complacent and then the higher you are sa trabaho mo parang ang hirap na mag-resign parang kung mag-resign ako ito sweldo ko as manager or as VP tapos kung mag-business ako yan lang makukuha ko parang it's not worth the time anymore parang ganun parang yun yung na-realize ko. That's why I already realized that I wanted to get out early because the longer you are the harder it is to also get out kasi tumataas benefits mo. Biglang, dati wala kang kotse ngayon, may kotse ka na, tapos biglang may gasoline allowance, may rice allowance, may mobile allowance, and your allowances, your the perks that you get higher also. Tapos ang hirap na umalis. As you, that's similar to some of my previous office mates. Parang they're now in their 40s. Hindi sila nakaalis. How should they go about that?
I think that's the beta paradox, the principle, no? Na parang if you're very comfortable, you don't want to be uncomfortable anymore. So you'll just cruise by. Unlike yung mga taong talagang experiencing discomfort, they have so much incentive to really roll the dice and risk it in business. So for me, pag they're really comfortable in their work, I don't want to tell them na, hey, you just have to really get out of that ship and jump ship and risk. Kasi if it provides a good livelihood for them, if they're able to go out, grab a tour of some place, go to Europe, whatever it is that they have, they desire to do in life, if they feel like it's their life's calling naman to be there in that company to serve as an employee, it's not my place to tell them you should get out and start a business. What we are here for is to advise people who want to get out, who are feeling discomfort in their day job, who are not satisfied with how they're being led by their bosses or their leaders or their managers, and who have a strong burning desire to really start a business. Kasi people who have a strong burning desire to start a business, hindi tatagal ng 16 years yan, brother. Talagang magsa-start yan talaga.
Sabagay, inisip ko kasi baka may burning desire, pero meron din kasi natatakot eh. Comment below kung naramdaman nyo na parang iba yung takot na mawala yung capital mo, or parang yung feeling na pag sa job mo kasi kontrolado mo, mapipredict mo ano yung makukuha mo on a regular basis eh, versus pag what do you call this, pag when you're out on your own also, parang there's a lot and then yung fear na pag nalugi to, nakakaya to. Hindi na pumasok ba sa isip mo yun na pag nag-start ka ng mga businesses, kung malugi, mapapaya ka sa harapan ng family mo or sa friends mo, na I've seen people na parang inano na nila, I'm quitting corporate, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, tapos nagsa-struggle sila sa business, hindi naman nila parang they can't swallow it that they really need to go back to corporate para magkapera sila.
Well, until si Marvin, we can ask him for an investment. No, a lot of people in the US and Europe use other people's money, OPM. That's what they use. They create a pitch deck, they have an idea, and then they pitch this idea to other people who are usually angel investors or venture capital firms. And then if the idea is really good, then they pad their risk by a lot. So, nare-reduce sobra yung risk kasi you're not using your own money anymore. Or if you're using it, you're using just a small amount.
Isn't that scarier? Parang mas dagdag pressure pa yun sa'yo na iba yung pera mo, kung mawala, walang habol sa'yo. Ngayon, kung pera ng ibang tao, if it doesn't do so well, there's an added pressure also na pwedeng hindi ka naman nila sisiyan, hindi ka nila mademanda, pero yung reputation mo also na, yan yung nalugi sa parang ba't pa niya, parang ganun. Would you mean it's easier to just get an investor versus your own money?
For me, if it depends on what risk is for the individual. Hindi kasi pare-pareha sa lahat eh. So may iba, mas risk sa kanila yung itaya yung sariling pera nila to roll the dice on their own money, start it, and spend a lot, and that's their money in the bank being drained. For some people, ang risk is they don't want their name to be taken lightly. So kagaya ng sinabi mo, si Sean, pumalpak yung niyan eh, yung startup niyan eh, nag-invest ako diyan. Let's say nag-invest si Marvin sa akin, sabi ni Marvin, nag-invest ako kay Sean, yung mga 10 million, tas pumalpak eh. So, yun bagong startup niya, baka hindi na mag-invest, ganyan. So, it depends on you. But on the latter, kung nag-invest yung tao sa'yo, pumalpak naman talaga, hindi mo naman ninakaw yung pera. You really did your best, you gave it your all, you worked 16-hour nights. Then, at least, you're still able to feed your family because you didn't use your own money in the bank. And you tried, and you really gave it your best. So if you explained it properly to your investors, to your partners, they would understand. Because at the get-go, an investment naman in a startup is really risky eh. Alam naman yan ng lahat ng investors, whether angel or VC. Alam ng lahat yan. Para rin sila nag-start ng sarili nilang business na bago. Pero may leverage lang kasi mas may network, mas may funding, di ba? So, That's the difference. But for me, mas scary pa rin yung using your own money if capital intensive yung isa-start mong business.
Got it. So, by the way, guys, abangan nyo tomorrow, 7 p.m. sa YouTube ko. We have Paula Tavancar joining us. Parang, ano yan, one of the top VCs in Dubai. So, if you want it from a VC perspective, she's joining us in the she's recorded, edited na yan, but it will come out tomorrow. Anyways, question from Chris Peely. Good day, Sir Marvin. What's a good mix of investments here in the Philippines for a moderately aggressive investor? So, I'll ask Sean. I'll ask Sean first kasi you've heard a lot of my insights about this. Pero maganda dito parang your profile, Sean, you're an entrepreneur. So parang how do you mix up your investments based on yung main bread and butter mo is the business that you have, and then how do you parang allocate your investments off of it? Kasi may mga ibang entrepreneurs din naman na na parang how do I say this? Di na sila nag-invest, nasa business lahat all in, pero madami silang cash. So even if the business is not doing well, okay sila because they were able to store a lot of cash doon. Hindi nga kumikita yung cash, pero it's a stockpile naman that they can weather days na hindi okay yung business. So how would you do it?
For me, it largely depends on your business. So, hindi naman sinabi ni Chris na business person siya. So, I'm just going to take the question as it is.
Okay.
No,
And I rephrased it na. I kinda
sa akin na, how
okay.
So, you have to understand the context of my business. My business is not a trading business. It's a services business. Meaning, when we generate revenue, that revenue is in the bank, and then there's nothing I use it for. I don't buy new inventory to sell. I can't. And we're not a trading business. I can't just hire new people also, because we scale people only when there are new accounts coming in, new clients. So there is money sitting in the bank that me and my CFO have to invest. Otherwise, it's going to be eaten up by inflation. 6% every year, more or less. So we have to invest it. So where do I invest? It's a mix of things, but I make sure to study it first. I also ask Marvin for his opinion. So there are certain stocks, dividend stocks that I invest in. There are certain growth stocks that I also have. And then my crypto investment, si Marvin, tinuro sa akin last week. so so I also have crypto investments. But right now, what I'm investing in is real estate. So me and my CFO, we're exploring talaga real estate investments right now. We've already seen a couple of properties. Carl D was here kanina. So nag-tripping kami ni Carl. It was a really pleasant experience for me and my CFO with him. So it really largely depends on what you want and how you want to diversify. So because the nature of my business is money's just in the bank, I have to invest. Kaya marami-rami yung diversified yung investments namin. Otherwise, if you're a trading company, you buy stock, you sell it, I suggest you just invest it in your inventory. If you can sell more of the inventory, buy more of that, sell more, you'll make even more money than investing it in other things like stocks, real estate. So it depends on the business.
But would you consider yourself a moderately aggressive investor, or would you consider yourself a more moderately conservative investor?
Definitely aggressive.
Got
Definitely
it.
aggressive.
So based on that, parang you mentioned cash, real estate, crypto, tsaka stocks. May top of your head, may naalala kang percentage kung ilan nasa stocks, ilan nasa crypto, ilan nasa real estate, ilan nasa cash?
Karamihan real estate kasi a couple of real estate investments right now is huge. So majority, I'd say like 70%, 80% maybe, I don't know is in real estate. And then we have agri then. We have agri. So we have sugar farm in Bacolod. So yeah, I'd say like hands down 70-80% real estate, and then the rest hati-hati na.
Okay, got it. From Daniel M, I'm holding, sorry, di ko pala sinagot yung tanong niya, no. D- Tama yung sinabi ni Sean na it's about what you can tolerate. Pero technically speaking, in terms of yung volatility niya, syempre yung mas aggressive are when you go CFDs, anything na derivative, kahit forex yan, crypto na derivative, or stock sa derivative, anytime na mag-leverage ka, anytime na mag-short ka, that becomes the parang riskier part of the spectrum also. Kasi doon pwede mag-zero yung pera mo. Yung isipin ito, sa crypto, if you own the crypto asset na nga, may chance din na mag-zero yun. How much more if you use a derivative and then nagle-leverage kayo doon. It amplifies the ability to lose money at a faster rate. So maybe a question you can ask yourself is, am I okay if my money goes to zero if I try this? So either options trading or forex or anything na derivative na may leverage. That's parang sa spectrum, yun yung isa sa pinaka-risky. Then you could add crypto, NFTs, they're relatively riskier than stocks, then maybe real estate, then maybe corporate bonds, then government bonds, then mas safer also mga pag-ibig MP2. So you do a mix of that and check mo kung ano yung sa tingin mo yung kaya mong ma-tolerate. Kasi yung magiging tendency naman doon is, for example, nag-invest ka sa ito safe to pero hindi naman siya pasok sa profile mo, mabobore ka. So parang eventually you'll end up not parang either maximizing it or you'll end up jumping to another investment. Question ni Daniel M. I'm holding Aslag and I plan to hold it for 10 years. Problem is parang wala akong balita sa kanya. My question is, how long can I make sure that I'm not losing money on an investment like this? Syempre, sa stock market, the way you lose money is you buy it at a certain price. In terms of how the market is looking at it, if it's lower already than the price of acquisition, and then you start selling, that's where you get a loss. So it's not dependent also kung the company is making money or not making money, because some companies that have been profitable, if it was really bought at the wrong price or it was bought high, also you could be ending up with a paper loss. So you have to realize what's important is kailangan ka may strategy na pag down siya, what do you do? Do you cut loss already or you just hold or do you add some more? What will be your parang parameter on what will cause you to sell also later on? Kasi if you don't have that set, pag up yung market, hindi mo alam kung ano gagawin mo. Pag down yung market also or down yung stock mo, hindi mo alam also yung gagawin mo. And one key thing that's important is there will be times that you will also lose money sa market. That's normal. Even Warren Buffett loses money. Either, or even the best ones, either they're holding it and have a paper loss or they're cutting losses at it. So because it's part of it na cyclical and you can't really get the highest and you also really can't get the lowest. You may be able to get it from time to time, pero doing it 100% of the time na hindi ka nagkakamali na binili mo sa pinakamababa na benta mo sa pinakataas. That's statistic. I haven't seen someone with scale in na sobrang active sa market do that, and I've been doing this for 15 plus years already. You have Aris, he's from Italy. Aris Lasiste Baloran. Hello Sir Marvin and Sir Sean. Question, how do you know kung you're doing good already in investing? Ikaw, Sean, how do you know if you're doing good already in investing?
I'm a simple guy. If you're making 12% per annum, at least, that's good for me.
Actually, mataas na nga yun. Are you saying that because entrepreneur ka? Kasi minsan benchmark lang ng tao is either above inflation, or, that's one, or for some also, na hindi above inflation, parang they're actually looking at either matalo ko lang yung time deposits kasi kung hindi ko naman ininvest to dito, nasa time deposits lang siya. So as long as matalo ko yun, okay lang din ako. Then yung iba naman na nagsa-stocks, as long as talo ko yung government bonds, okay na sa akin yun. Or for some, they have a benchmark na, for example, yung PSCI or yung S&P 500, if the S&P 500 fares 8%, they get 10%, okay na sila. Siguro my question is, saan na-derive yung 12% and what's the magic behind it?
That's just actually for me. That's just my goal.
Okay.
So it's for me, if I want to retire comfortably, beating inflation 6%, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to have retirement money. It just means that you're able to beat inflation. So if you want to retire comfortably, for me, 12% is a very good number. Kasi kung 8%, you just have 2% for retirement. 10% you just have 4% for retirement. So, yun lang. For me, dun ko lang nakuha. Hindi naman ako kasing sophisticated mo, Marv, sa investing, no?
Naman,
And
naman.
kasing
I,
laki nung nilalaro, eh.
I'm just curious lang kasi para at least that might be the question of some people who are watching this, and yun yung
Yeah.
maganda sa ganito na you have different people and then they have different ideologies also on investing, and then parang ganun, grab something na parang that oy, parang okay itong 12% na rule, parang sundan ko na lang din si Sean, parang ganun, and then yun na rin,
Yeah.
you start using that kasi it's not really a one size fit all strategy, and I think that's what you need to learn here, na whatever you get or you read or you watch or you listen to or you observe from a lot of people, or if ikaw naging successful ka mismo sa ginagawa mo, you don't have to impose it also to other people kasi hindi gagana yun, eh. So, I'll give you an example. Madami nagsasabi, bad leader yan si Steve Jobs kasi sobrang masama siya sa mga employees niya. Ito dapat yung leader, yung talagang charismatic, mabait. Pero meron din magsasabi na hindi, okay, he made it work. Eh. So it's not really one size fit all.
Yeah.
Let's continue. So for me naman, to answer that, depends eh. So if kunyari crypto, as long as you're beating Bitcoin, if you're having Bitcoin, as long as you beat stocks, or yung S&P 500, if you're in stocks, as long as you beat also whatever benchmark that's there, or if your parang main asset mo mutual funds tsaka stocks, if your individual stock investing is beating the mutual fund na isa mong investing, you're doing a good job. And yun yung sinasabi ko sa mga ibang tao na, kunyari, 10 years ka na nag-mutual fund, out of the 10 years, talo ka lagi ng mutual fund mo, it might be better to put in your money sa mutual fund na lang. Kasi sayang naman if you're underperforming and then the mutual fund is doing better, you might have earned more there. In the same way also, if you're earning more sa stock market than sa mutual funds, then it might be a signal also na bakit ka natatakot? Why not add more dun sa stocks mo also? And if you're more conservative, ganun din. Yung sa dividends sa akin, I have a benchmark sa dividends na as long as I get something above 5%, okay na sa akin yun. So, that actually means that, kunyari, nag-dip yung dividends to, say, 4.6%, hindi ko bibilin yun. I'll move to another stock that tingin ko yung dividend yield at that time that I have cash that I want to buy it will give me a better yield. Yun. So, yun yung answer ko, Aris Baloran from Italy. Cornelius, gusto mo sumagot ng stock question. Is it good to hold ASIN even though overvalued siya and bumababa yung stock price? Saka dividend-wise, maliit. Do you want to answer that? Or ako
Overvalued ba siya? Hindi ko alam. I have no idea.
So, ASIN is basically AC energy. So to answer yung isang question, you don't buy it based sa dividends na binibigay niya. Hindi talaga malaki binibigay niya. So rule of thumb is this. In-acquire yun ng Ayala because they really want to expand, and with yung goal also na renewable energy. Pero with that also, malaki lalabas sila na pera over the next few years. So pag kikita sila, they're just gonna bring it back to the business. So if they're gonna bring it back to the business, hindi nila priority yung dividends. So kung hindi nila priority yung dividends, you can expect that you won't really get a high return on your dividends. So meaning, if your intention to buy it is dividends, sayang kasi there might be other stocks that will earn better than it. So in terms of I assume you're saying this also, nakita mo na yung valuations niya. One way to look at it, tas bumababa siya, tas mahal pa siya, that's where you start combining it already also with technicals. If you think that it will come to a point na historically nandun na siya sa parang lower end ng PE ratio band niya, kahit downtrend siya, and then long-term investor ka, you can start accumulating, not all in one go, kasi pag downtrend siya, there's also a chance that you may see it start to, it may still continue to decline. Pero yung very important doon, in this entire context, is kailangan mo mag-set ng parameter na, okay, nakita ko, okay, low, historically, ito yung PE niya, malapit na siya doon. Pwede mo na siyang bilhin. It's not wrong for that. You can't really pinpoint a specific area na hindi na siya bababa. No one knows kung until when yung pagbaba niya or when na siya aakyat eh. Pero you can just create rules that will allow you to start coming in when it's more favorable for you or not. Ayan. We have Ken. I am a blue collar who wants to build a business. I would like to build a project that would help Filipinos to easily ramp into crypto. I honestly don't know where to start. So ikaw, Sean, kung may nagbigay ng idea niya na yan sa'yo, what will you do?
I would first look at the idea, how viable it is. So I've also invested in a couple of businesses, two of which are doing very well. And then yung isa to now, alam na natin yon, Marv. um, so yeah, when I invest in businesses, I look at the team. First thing I look at the team. Do they have good track record? Do they have good integrity? So these are things I ask. Do you have a team? Do you have a very good idea? Will it sell? Will the market receive it well? Would you have target users? Because you can't sell to everyone. You can just sell to people who really are supposed to benefit a lot from your idea. So I don't know the idea yet kasi sabi mo lang is to easily ramp in crypto. I mean, I'm assuming what that means is to uh, benefit from crypto or in the cryptocurrency world. So I really don't know the idea yet, but these are some of the things that I look at as an investor. Yeah.
Got it, got it. Before you continue, shout out dito kay Newbie GMK. Na-meet ko siya sa Vietnam, pero taga-Cambodia siya. He has millions of followers. Parang 3 million yata yung followers niya. So, thank you for joining us. Hindi siya marunong mag-Tagalog, but thank you for joining us. Yeah. Anyways,
Idol ka talaga, Marvin.
I'll go back to the question. I'll go back. Saan tayo? Lumampas ako sa, ano. So, hindi ko pala nasagot yung question na. Nakakalimutan ko sumagot ng question. I actually don't know also, it lacks more details pero if you don't know where to start, that actually means that you need to either do more research or you actually need to spend more time also knowing also kung idea mo lang ba yan na tingin mong okay or meron na bang nakagawa niyan na nauna na or meron ka bang competition, what makes it very unique. And in the same way also kung unique yan, meron ba talagang tatangkilik niyan kasi sobrang daming may ideas pero it doesn't actually mean that there will be a market for it. There will be someone who will actually buy it for you. Ito pa, how do I say this? Iba yung may idea ka na tingin mo may market pero meron ba silang pambili? So I'll give you an example dyan. Parang nag-uusap kami ni Jason Law, a good friend. And nag-uusap kami nun, this was before linabas niya yung book niya, Determined. Kasi parang iniisip namin, yung book na yon ay para sa mga tao na may utang or lubog sa utang or para makawala sa utang. So parang we were debating, kung lubog sila sa utang, may pera pa sila pambili ng libro. Parang ganun yung naging discussion namin. So yun lang, you have to think about if there will be people also, even if there's a market, who are willing to buy whatever you're actually selling. Or maybe what you're actually doing also might be ahead of its time. Na ahead of its time pa siya, hindi pa siya masyadong naiintindihan ng tao. Similar to may mga certain innovations sa technology na nauna, pero hindi sila yung nagpa-mainstream nun. Like for example, yung, syempre, sa mga mas bata sa amin, baka hindi pa ito naabutan eh. Yung Apple iPod, hindi pada, Apple iPod, it was basically just an MP3 player. And before that, sobrang daming MP3 players na nauna before it. Pero yung nagpa-mainstream talaga was Apple. So, yun, pwede kasing it's an idea that's ahead of its time na it may take a longer time also. But yun, sasabihin ni Sean yun, do you have enough money to be able to make the company afloat up until you get the sales that's actually needed?
Tsaka yung iPad, Marv, you have to understand during that time, there's a cult following. Ang Mac, even when Steve Jobs was gone, it was kicked out pala, sorry, may cult following pa rin ang Apple and ang Macintosh. So, when Steve Jobs went and took to the stage again, they were like the early adopters, the cult following, they were there. And when they listened to Steve Jobs deliver it, and if you've read his book by Walter Isaacson, you will realize that he really is a showman. Alam niya paano i-present yung product niya. And when he used the tagline, "It's 1,000 songs in your pocket," the press just got wind of that and went everywhere. And there are these factors that we cannot replicate anymore. We cannot use the same tagline for our product. Diba? There's a book, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Sabi ni Peter Thiel doon, he's one of the PayPal mafias, millionaire nung binenta yung PayPal. Sabi niya, there's just one point of creation. After that, wala na. Like Facebook. Alam nga naman gumawa ko ulit ng Facebook. Eh may Facebook na eh. There's just one point of creation. It cannot be replicated. That's the difficult part of being an entrepreneur. We cannot really replicate whatever success there was in the past and apply that exactly to what we're about to do. We can just learn from the lessons, but we have to do it our own way.
May question ako. You said something interesting, and uh, people cannot replicate Facebook anymore. Ang dami ngayon, I've noticed, they're trying to be the Web3 or the decentralized form of Facebook. Uh, does that actually mean kasi meron ng Facebook and it actually works eh. People can say all they want about Facebook pero kaya nga tayo nag-survive sa pandemic lahat kasi nakaka-DM ka via Facebook, nakaka-connect ka sa ibang tao. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng livelihood yung ibang tao kasi may Facebook Marketplace, may Facebook community. Yung mga sarado na events, people started doing Facebook Live because of it. It works eh. So, does that mean a web alam ko walang tamang sagot dito pero I'm asking the forecasting side of Shansi. Will there come actually a point in time na whatever iteration na crypto, web3, metaverse stuff that will try to be the next Facebook will actually beat Facebook, or wala na yun, whatever we see as the form that's there, that's basically it already.
The difficulty kasi for me sa Web3 is, yan yung sinasabi mo na it's ahead of its time. Because majority of the money in the world economy are still with the remaining baby boomers and majority Gen Xers. Wala pa naman talaga sa millennials yung big money, yung big spending power. Millennials are just trying to find their way pa lang. Kasi nga, mas entitled ang millennials, mas late sa maturity.
Millennials ba entitled or yung Gen Z?
Yes lang. Tayo, ikaw ba, millennial ka ba, Mark?
Millennial ako.
Millennial din ako. So, alam naman natin, nung panahon natin, tayo sinasabi ng entitled. So, a lot of millennials, we both know, a lot. There are exceptions, but a lot of millennials are entitled. So, hindi napasa yung spending power sa millennials. Majority, ah. So, what's happening is, nasa Gen X and baby boomers pa rin yung spending power, hindi sila masyado tech savvy. Lalo na yung Web3 may learning curve. Kaya hindi makapag-adapt yung ng tama, hindi ma-adapt ng tama yung Web3 sa majority ng mundo. Kasi kung nakainino yung pera, hindi talaga sila pumasok pa doon. Even Mark Zuckerberg already sunsetted their metaverse, di ba? So
does that actually mean that we just have to wait for 1 decade? Kasi if we wait for 1 decade, 50 years old na ako nun, yung mga Gen Z, 30 na yon. So pag 30 years old na yung ibang Gen Z, some of them are probably managers already. So parang at scale, you now have maybe a larger part of the population na they understand it. That's why you're saying it's ahead of its time because give it a couple more years, mas dadami na yung mga tao na mas bata na may pera.
That's right. That's exactly it. I wouldn't be surprised if Meta rehires the people that worked on the original metaverse that they were trying to build during that time. There are factors at play. For me, you have to realize that the money is still with the baby boomers and Gen Xers largely. And that's and the other factor that got played in is kasi millennials were a lot less masipag, we're more entitled, we're more relaxed.
Di naman lahat, pero
Di lahat.
Di naman
Tayo
lahat.
alam naman nating dalawa na tayo we did our best naman, Marvin. So, wala, but a lot of...
I think at scale, pinag-usapan namin to ni Salve Duplito eh. Parang I think at scale. By the way, guys, Salve Duplito will join us live Friday naman. So, if you want to be part of that, pin nyo na sa calendars nyo. Pero, napag-usapan namin parang iba na eh. Kasi, dati nung mas bata ako, kaya kong mag-taxi pero nag-jeep ako. Ngayon, parang grab na ng grab yung mga tao eh. Dati, may pera
Yeah.
ako Starbucks nung college ako, pero sobrang bihira ako nagsa-Starbucks. Ngayon, parang normal na sa younger generation na Starbucks, milk tea, parang it's already part of it. And
Yep.
yun. Anyways, let's go back to business questions. Ferro Mendoza is asking this. But by the way, guys, before Sean answers this, kasi very specific sa skill set to ni Sean, just a quick reminder for Icon 2023. And then we also have a promo which is flashed right here. It gives you buy one, take one to all of the speakers that are available as well. And si Sean, uh, sayang wala, you'll be out no on that day. You could have met Sean also, pero he'll be
Yeah.
out on that
Sadly.
particular day. But this will be the first icon that we will be doing TradFi, traditional finance, stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, entrepreneurship versus DeFi, decentralized finance, where we do crypto NFTs on the topic. So it's one of the first times that we're doing that or doing something in that iteration. So what do you think about this question about Nifero Mendoza? How will you answer this?
This one's fairly simple. If you go to GoDaddy, you'll realize a domain name is like less than 1K a year. And then to host it in web hosting sites that are cheap, and there are a lot of cheap web hosting sites, they may not be the best, but if you're starting out, pwede na yon. I think it's less than 2,000 pesos a year to host the website. You have the domain name, you have the hosting. All you need is the system, the CMS, content management system, and WordPress is free. You download it from wordpress.org, put it in the hosting, unzip it there, and then you have a website. All you need now is a theme, and having a theme in your WordPress site is like shopping for a theme in your mobile phone. It's like super easy. And if you want to offer it as a service, that largely depends on what you include. So sa amin, ang web maintenance namin, we include site speed, which means we fix the caching, database caching, object caching, browser caching, gzip, time to first byte. So we pay a lot for our web hosting. We get the one of the most expensive web hostings in the world, just because we're concerned with time to first byte.
Not the multiverse, the world lang. Anyways, joke lang.
Not the multiverse. This side of the multiverse. No. Pero yun, so it depends. It's extensive. So site speed, we provide site security as well. We make sure that we harden the server so that they don't get hacked, and we harden the CMS files, and we update it every time there's a new core update. We update it so that it plays well with the plugin. So I'm getting a little bit technical here,
Pero nga may
but
parang na-lost na ako dun.
ang point ko lang, pag mas marami kang ino-offer na specialized service kasama nun, then you can charge more. If you're just offering as a service na I'll design for you, one-time fee lang yon. If you want to charge them for the hosting, there's just a small fee because people are smart enough to know and learn how much hosting really is. So we're able to charge a good, healthy margin because we have a lot. So kasama dun sa site speed, site security, yung updating, pag-upload ng mga stuff, content, banner. Sometimes we do the graphics also for them. So depends sa'yo.
Got it. So so parang nung in-explain mo yung medyo technical na part, feeling ko yun yung pakiramdam ko pag may kinakausap ako na nag-usap kami about crypto tapos dumadaan lang nung sinasabi niya. Feeling ko ganun. Anyways, this one is asan yun nawala. Ayan, this is from YouTube naman, from Raw MZ. Para I see a lot of cool action figures there. I'm a collector myself, and I do have a lot of alternative investments, mostly comic books. What do you think is the future of alternate investing and collectibles? So ako, I'll answer first. Wala ko kahit anong ganun. Yung pinaka-alternate na sa akin is NFTs. So if you consider crypto also alternate, that's as far as I go. Si Sean, guys, kung alam niyo lang, may hydroponics pa yan sa likod na naging business na rin na ano ginagawa niyo, tea drops, tea capsules or something, basta nagawa na he has so many alternative so So Sean, what do you think is the ano, what do you think is the parang future of alternative investing?
For me, I don't buy them because they're investments. I buy them because I enjoy them. I'm not sure about the future of it. I think Carlo Ople might be the best person to ask here. But for me, it's as simple as supply and demand. So if stop production na siya, like some of the figures I have here are stop production, and there's not a lot of them going around, and some niche collectors value them, then you can make a lot of money selling them if you want to sell them. But if not, if like me, I just buy them to because I like looking at them, I like posting them and taking photos, then it's not really an investment. So I know some people who collect comic books who buy one for their collection and then buy this exact same comic book to sell in the future. I haven't tried that personally. I know you can make money out of them if you are able to lock in on one very good comic book episode, I guess that's high in demand. But it's more hit or miss in my opinion. Pag ganyan.
Pero possible ba yan na parang katulad na napapanood sa movie na parang kailangan na kailangan mo na ng pera tapos, oy, naalala ko may comic book ako tapos magkakaroon siya ng certain value, may magkakaroon siya ng certain value that it could still be at a good amount. Pwedeng hindi siya mag-appreciate a lot, pero is it possible that it could be worth something? Kasi ako meron ako basketball cards nung elementary ako, pero nagmali yung I bet on Anthony Hardaway. So feeling ko hindi nyo nakilala si Anthony Hardaway. Galing siya, sobra. He was way ahead of Kobe, mga 3 or 4 years ahead of Kobe. Tapos na-injure lang siya. So yun, wala. I bet on the wrong. what,
Yeah.
what, what do you think?
Well, I imagine there are some figures even here that could sell for more than what I bought it for. So it's really about the demand for it. And sabi mo nga, it's about luck din. Kasi if you bet on the right person, the right basketball player, and they hit it big and they become a legend to some degree, then you can definitely sell it for a lot.
So siguro tama yung sabi mo na yung pag collectible yan, you buy it because you like it first. Tapos na kahit hindi siya mag-appreciate, I think okay lang sa'yo. So parang example, I have NBA Top Shot NFTs. Pero I've been collecting yung mga related kay Steph Curry na the value now isn't where it was in 2021, pero dahil Steph Curry siya, which they lost also. Okay lang sa akin. Cornelius V, what are your mottos, Sir Marvin and Sean? What motivates and inspires you to be your best every day? Interesting question yun pero sagutin ko naman siya. Feeling ko wala akong motto. Wala akong motto in life. Pero yung important sa akin ngayon is na-realize ko because of COVID, hindi mo alam gaano ka katagal mabubuhay eh. So parang plan for the future, you save, you invest, pero you try to also parang kung magbe-business ka or mag-invest ka or mabubuhay ka, gawin mo na yung parang masaya ka or mag-enjoy ka na if you feel parang sobrang dinadrag mo na sarili mo dun sa kung ano man yung ginagawa mo na or parang ginagawa mo lang siya ng pure motivation mo pera, parang you will hit a brick wall kung pera lang yung motivation mo kasi either mababurn out ka or parang you will find another thing that you want to buy doon sa perang nakuha mo para at least feeling mo ma-compensate yung hard work na ginawa mo doon. Nothing wrong with that, pero I don't think it's something that's sustainable eh. So yun, parang sa akin, it's parang enjoying and parang doing the things that I like also on a regular basis. Kasi yun, life is long but it's also short eh. So yun, Sean, ikaw.
Yeah. Sa akin, I don't have a motto, but I have a lot of Bible verses that I memorize. And usually it comes up in the situations that I need them. So, for example, I lost good handful of clients late last year, and the verse that came to mind is from Job: "The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And also verses like, "All things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to His purpose." So these are verses that help me get through the hardest times. It's really life changing, especially now with a lot of worries, anxiety, and depression. The spirit of these negative emotions are floating about in our world today. You have to have these ancient scripture in your heart and in your mind. So that's what I use to keep myself grounded and afloat. And then what inspires me to be my best every day is I'm thankful to what God has given me. So there's a parable of talents that Jesus shares in the Bible, and sabi niya, to they gave talents to three servants, the master. So to one servant, 5 talents, to one servant, two, and to the last servant, 1 talent. The first two servants, nadoble nila yung talent. Naging 10, naging 4. And then sabi nung master, nung bumalik siya, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a little. Now I will put you in charge with much. And when he says much, of course, that's heaven because we will have so much when we get to heaven. And then to the 1 talent, ang ginawa niya, sabi niya, Master, I was afraid because you're a hard man. You reap where you don't sow. So I hid and buried your talent in the ground. So ang sabi ng master sa kanya, you lazy and wicked servant. You know I reap where I do not sow. And then sabi niya dun sa ibang servants niya, throw him where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. So what's the lesson? Why am I sharing this parable with you? I don't want to be that servant na nilibing lang yung talent. Kasi he's lazy. I want to be the guy with much, 5 talents, and he doubled it to 10. And that inspires me every day na I've been given a lot by God. You know, my talents in life, my family, my businesses, everything. And this inspires me to do my best.
Galing, galing. So, sobrang sulit yung sinabi mo siya, hindi na ako magsisimba sa linggo. Ah, joke lang yan. Anyways, John Frias, biggest challenges on running your business shot, and how did you overcome it? Hula ko. Sabihin mo, leading people, just a guess.
Yeah. Totoo. That's it. That's it. And you have your own experience, di ba? Pinagkukwentuhan lang natin yun na last week eh. So it's people. It's people. You just don't know how they think. You just don't know what they are going through in life. They might be going through very tough time. I had an operations manager before, and nagkasakit yung mom niya, terminal illness, and he had to resign suddenly. And I really had to kneel down and ask God, Lord, why is this happening? Why did you allow this to happen? What do you want me to learn? Right? So these are challenges that are, I call them X factors, because you just don't know when they're gonna happen, why they happened, and you can't do anything about it. I can't tell that guy, don't take care of your mom, because the right thing for him to do is to take care of his mom, and I support that actually. But what about SEO hacker? Then I have to go back and step in and take care of the operations again. So it's really the biggest challenge: leading people, managing them. Yeah, more difficult yun than managing clients. Clients are more predictable. And it depends on how you treat them. They are more giving. They're more understanding actually. So yeah, overcoming it. You just gotta walk with God, read God's word, learn from His word. That's the source of all wisdom. And then I have books and podcasts that I read and listen to. Right now, I'm listening to Principles by Ray Dalio. Alam kong binabasa ko siya matagal na. Kakatapos ko lang nung Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Pett David. That was very good book, ebook. I listened to it. So all of these supplemental ebooks and books that I read and listen to helps me to learn how to deal with it. I can't really say I have overcome it, because it still happens. There's still challenges that come from nowhere. So I can't say I have overcome it. All I can tell you is I've learned a lot along the way, and I'm able to deal with it a little bit better every day.
Got it. May mga questions si Cornelius V, pero I think we've answered some of your questions. Kung may time later on, babalikan ko tong mga questions muna to. But if not, I'll try to go and look at other people's answer also, so that it's parang balance also for the others that sent questions. Andrew, yeah, sabi niya kanina, so this is a comment yata dun sa sinabi mo na other people's money needs network. Anyways, meron ulit si Cornelius
Join
dito.
Icon. Diba? Join Icon. You can build a network there. There are
Pwede.
also events like Grand Wine, Sake Sessions. I know these are like drinking events that I attend, but they're like 3,500. And then there are a lot of people there who enjoy sake and who are leaders, CEOs, managers. And they enjoy sake. And when you've drunk, a couple of glasses, not bottles. I was about to say, drank a couple of glasses. You're already in good spirit. It's so easy to network. It's not hard to network, guys. It is enjoyable to network.
Pero may sinabi ka doon sa isa natin interview, at gusto kong ulitin mo to eh. Sinabi mo na networking is not getting other people's calling cards, na nakakuha ka na ng calling card ng network. ng network ka na hindi. Sabi mo yun,
Yeah.
di ba? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
talaga net. So,
Yeah.
how do they, pero kasi, ito rin yung gusto kong na parang when people are in like events like that, you know the people na lumalapit sa kasi gustong makipag-network versus yung genuine talaga. So parang
Yeah.
how will you do it na hindi ka naman mukhang na parang gusto mo lang you want something, you want to get something from that person kaya mo linalapitan. What should be their approach? Kasi they really want to get something from that person, pero how should they go about it?
For me, number one, I go to networking events to learn and enjoy. Not because I have a target there na gusto kong kunin yung calling card niya. I don't do that. So, if that's the situation you're in, here's my suggestion. When you approach that person, tell that person how you can help them. And you can phrase the question like this. Hi, my name is Sean. And of course, they will introduce themselves. And you'll ask them, so what do you do? That's the first question I really ask. So what do you do? What's your business? Or what's your work? Diba? And they would go on and say, oh, I do this and that. And I'm like, okay, what makes you different from the competition? So I really inquire. I really try to show that I am genuinely interested, because I really am. I like learning. And that's why I have the Leadership Stack podcast, where I ask a lot of questions to a lot of entrepreneurs, because I'm genuinely interested in what they are doing. And then at the end of it, I ask them, do you have a number? Do you have a calling card, or can I get your number? And believe it or not, a true story. Sabihin ko ba kung sino? Yeah, sige, sabihin ko kung sino. Si Mayor Isko. Mayor Isko.
Okay.
Moreno.
Okay.
Nakita kami sa PAL na flight. And halatang-halata na siya yon. And then when we landed, we went to the same hotel in Cebu. And so I just approached him out of the blue. And because I'm a JCI Manila member, and I know we're very active in helping him during his time in Manila, I introduced myself as a JCI Manila member. I just said, hi, Mary Isko, I'm a JCI Manila member. Immediately he stood up, shook my hand, and I said, by the way, if ever you need SEO, this is what I do. Just hit me up. And we exchanged numbers, and literally he said, let's have lunch or coffee in BGC one day. Siya na yung nag-iya, right? Because there's value that I bring to the table.
So kahit parang diretsahan na parang networking lang talaga yung mo, parang that was okay, parang gano'n.
But in that case, I leveraged on my association because I'm a JCI Manila member. So depends It depends. Pag may leverage ka, okay lang yun. Pag wala, it's like your first date and you're asking the girl agad, do you want to go to my hotel room? Parang hindi appropriate pag ganun, na diretso. Dapat dahan-dahanin lang na this is the value that I bring. How can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I bring value to you? Diba? More of ganun yun dapat na approach.
Pero napansin ko, hindi lang sa Pilipinas yun kasi I've been to so many Web3 conferences sa Dubai tsaka sa Europe. Minsan talaga talaga parang ano na ngayon, di ba, WhatsApp QR code. Pagka-scan ng QR code na WhatsApp, alis na sila, move on to the next table. So parang talagang ano,
Yeah.
tapos sige, I'll just contact you na lang. Parang
Yeah.
ganun yung ano,
Speed dating. Parang
pandam-
speed dating. There's no depth in that. And did something come out of it? Probably not. Usually there's nothing that would come out of those speed dating types of networking na exchange lang ng number tapos move on sa next.
Saka hindi mo na maalala compared to yung kunyari matagal mong nakakausap. Later on, pag naalala mo, ginagawa niya to, parang yun, it would be easier for you to ano. Tsaka sa akin, na-realize ko, aside from giving yung WhatsApp or ano, mas maganda bigay yung ano mas maganda bigay yung Instagram Kasi makita mo kung ano talaga yung ginagawa nila. Parang ewan ko, but that's just me. Sean, from Rick Sanchez. So guys, it's 10:06. Probably we'll do this for mga 9 minutes more. Kasi si
1
Sean,
hour more.
He's really making...
Kahit ano.
May anak yan, tapos maglalaro pa yan ng computer games mamaya. Tapos
Hindi na. Hindi na maglala.
May ano pa siya, may makupaponyera pa sa likod. So,
Galing ako swimming, kaya pawis na pawis ako kanina.
Tapos yun, may swimming pool sila sa bahay nila. So,
Hindi. Wala dito.
When you started your... sorry. When you started
Right.
did you parang create that tin first para sa BIR or later na nung medyo nagkaroon na siya ng revenue also?
Sa akin, ay freelancer lang ako dati. So I was a freelancer for almost 2 years. And then finally, I stumbled upon Rockwell, nag-inquire sila, and they don't deal with freelancers. So I had to register in DTI. And of course, if you register in DTI as a sole proprietor, you also have to register in BIR. So that's the time that I registered in BIR.
So, tsaka mangyayari doon, if you work with companies already, kailangan mo ng resibo, you'll really have to go and register with BIR also. Si Lester RC, so gagawin ko since madami pang questions and then 10:08 na. We'll go through the questions pero mabilisan na sagot na lang. Si Lester RC sa inyo about Dragonfly. They're a new platform I'll give you more updates on this, maybe separate videos na lang. Pero they're relatively new. Si ano to, Sean? Si Tony Tan Kachong at si Injap Sia. They brokerage na. John Tadina, Sean, Bitcoin price prediction.
I have no idea.
Ako, I will quote every Bitcoin maximalist that I know. Every time na tinatanong sila, what's your prediction on Bitcoin? Alam mo sagot nila?
Ano? To the moon.
Up. Up. So, si Andrew, nagtanong na ba si Andrew? Ay meron na, so I'll skip for others first to give others a chance. Si Cornelius, are we in a bull run? We're not at the point also where everyone is aping in. We're not yet also that optimistic. And people, I answered this in a lot of videos that nagpa-bull run sa market noong 2020, 2021 because there was a lot of liquidity. Ngayon, interest rates are higher, the money is in fixed assets. So, it will be a chicken and egg game. Inflation needs to go down first. And then that's when interest rates, and feeling ko last rate hike na ng US yun. So, since last rate hike na doon, the chances are it stays at that rate for some time, or at some point also they'll start bringing it down. When they start bringing it down, when it comes to a point that they start printing again, it will inject liquidity in the markets. And then when there's an excess of liquidity, that's when you see it probably boom, it starts to push up again as well. Automated trading na po uso ngayon. Totoo yan. Si Sean, nag-automated trading na yan. Okay.
Oo nga nag-set
Sa real estate po kayo nag-invest ngayon? Ayan. Tama na, mention mo kanina na parang a large chunk of your portfolio is real estate. How does it go about that? By the way, guys, pag si Sean yung kausap natin, iba na laro niyan. Parang building na yung laro ni Sean. So,
wala akong building. Fake news. Ikaw nga yung may lupa sa Portugal
Sabi mo building sa for the SEO Hacker Office.
Yeah, we're we're praying that we can
Ah,
install.
okay. O sige,
Yeah.
go,
Wala pa
go.
ang design, wala pa talaga kasi ang mahal, ang mahal magpa-build ng building. Sobrang mahal ngayon ng building, 3-story lang, super mahal. So, Carl D was here and he's speaking at Icon and he took us to Nuvali and it's very promising to invest there.
Carl D.
Although, ayan, so you
Tingnan
learn
ko.
a lot about real estate from Carl. And some other speakers as well, for sure. Sobrang sulit nitong Icon. Pastor Dennis is there. He's my mentor for 7 years. I don't think I'd be where I am today without him in my life. No? So, grabe yung value ng Icon.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead. Sorry, I just flashed it lang for shot.
yeah,
Go.
so I invest. We pray first, me and my wife. We pray before we buy real estate kasi it's a big investment. So it just so happens that we were able to buy one. Although I don't really advise this that you do it as well because it really depends on what you know about the place and how you're going to use it if you have utility for it. So we have one in Palawan, in El Nido, yeah, Palawan, and one here in BF, and and of course my house, and then so BF, we're looking at BF because this is where I live. So alam ko yung mga price, kung paano tumataas, and yung mga bagong developments nearby. That's why I invest here. So I was looking at the valley, but also we are looking at some lots here as well in BF pa rin. Some properties, not just lots here in BF. So and then there's one in Makati, but I haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, that hindi naman maraming properties ko, ilan lang, like 3 properties, right? And then we're looking to invest in one more right now. But I also loan from the bank because the interest rate I can deduct from my taxes. So yeah, that's what I do.
Meron ako natutunan. Ayaw din siya ng real estate sa Timog. Joke lang. Anyways.
Sa Timog. Ayoko.
Anyways, ito Sean, baka pasok sa'yo. May hardware ka dati, no? Wala ba? Meron, no?
Yeah, my dad.
Ayan,
My dad.
so, question niya, Frederick Esguera. My hardware business is good, currently 5 years. I'm in my mid-30s, pareho kayo, sakto-sakto. Is it okay to invest in a condo unit or REIT? Because I also need extra capital in the future expansion. So, sakto, may business siya, kumikita, pero iniisip niya mag-i-invest ako sa real estate or sa REIT, pero kailangan ko pa rin ng pera kasi ng capital para sa business ko, para sa expansion. What would you do, or how would you wanna speak into this?
Like for me, I don't know if you're investing for the dividends ng REIT or sa rent ng condo, but if that's what you're investing for, it might not be very good. But if you're investing to flip it, that's better in my opinion because an expansion is capital intensive, especially if you're hardware kasi you need a warehouse space. Maybe you need barracks also para sa mga pahinante mo or sa mga driver, diba? So capital for future expansion is definitely gonna be expensive. But I'm not a big fan of condo though. For me, condo there's a lot of supply, so the demand for it might not be that big. I'd rather buy house and lot than a condo. I think it's easier to sell, or just a lot. I think that's the easiest to sell kung open lot lang siya. REIT, I haven't invested in REITs yet. I don't have
Talaga?
REIT.
So kahit anong pilit ko pa, wala pala ako na ambag sa buhay.
Hindi pa naman ako pinilit eh.
Diba? Okay.
Hindi pa naman ako pinilit. So, turuan mo kasi ako para ano.
From the Cristobals, Sir Sean and Sir Marvin, for real estate, how much okay mag-sell? How much po ang okay na profit para i-sell ang property? Do you sell pa ba? Parang do you sell your property?
I don't buy to sell. I'd
Okay.
rather play the old man's game, which is to lease it.
So ako rin, wala pa akong experience doon. Pero siguro wala pa akong experience to actually sell, so I haven't sold any property. I think what you need to also realize, it's real estate 'yan. Tapos malaking pera din 'yan. A question you could ask yourself is, kailangan mo na ba yung pera or may paggagamitan kapag nabenta mo siya? Kasi kung di mo naman din nabenta, I've seen people sell their properties and then because hindi nila alam gagamitin, they ended up buying another property at a higher
Mm.
price already. So sayang. So siguro a good rule of thumb is above and beyond yung gain, you have to look at yung, how do I say this? Yeah, you have to look for what will you use the proceeds for also. So parang
Yeah.
ganun. Ikaw,
Yeah.
Sean, stocks or real estate for 20 to 25 years?
Stocks definitely. Kasi mahal ang real estate ngayon. Super. Although I don't know if it's gonna get cheaper also. But it's just if you're 20 to 25, like I'm assuming the real estate you can buy are either super layo na maliliit. Like in Gen 3, yes, it's 1.8 for a two-story, 60 square lot, two-story house. I know because I recently looked there. So layo na nun, Gen 3 Cavite na yon. And if you're 20 to 25, even a 1.8, medyo mabigat monthly yon. So I think stocks muna pag 20 to 25.
Then yung holding period niya 20 to 25 years na hindi yan yung age niya. Holding period.
Okay. 20 to 25 years, definitely real estate na pag ganun.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Kasi,
25-year-old.
yeah, 20 to 25-year-old, I'd go for real estate.
Yung
Hands down.
Yung advantage ng real estate is after 25 years, there's a semblance na alam mo na kung mataas yung value niya, mataas pa rin siya. Sa stock market kasi kung may recession at that time or kung may crash, tapos nadatnan mismo na sa pinaka 25th year, up siya for 24 years, sa 25th year, kailangan may pera, doon siya nag-crash. You get hit. So, I think that's the parang biggest difference niya. Sa real estate kasi, it doesn't drop as much because it's not as liquid, and napag-usapan natin to kahapon with Carl D also. Ito, business question. Good evening, Boss Shad. What do you think about setting, or what do you think of getting a digital ad agency for your company, or better in-house?
I'm a digital agency, so I don't think about this. But so there I'll just explain na lang the pros and cons. So if you outsource, number one, it's cheaper because you don't have to build your own team and you don't have to hire people na pag-experimentohan yung company mo. If you outsource, for example, companies who outsource SEO Hacker for their SEO, we already know what we're doing. We've been at it for 13 years. I have people already in place, and we're always at the cutting edge because it's our business. It's our work. It's what we do every day. If you go in-house, mas mahal sila because you have to pay for the benefits, SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, HMO, life insurance, whatever it is that you're going to give them, performance bonus, 13-month pay. You have to pay for a 25-day paid time off, which is easily a 15th-month pay, diba? So, ang dami mong kailangan bayaran to in-house a team. And you can't hire just one person for a digital team. You have to have a copywriter, an editor, a strategist. You have to have a web partnerships person. You have to have a developer, a graphic artist, a web designer. So at least 7 people to pay for, and then a project manager. So at least 8 people you have to pay in-house. That's super duper expensive compared to just outsourcing to a digital marketing agency like SEO Hacker. And another disadvantage, of hiring them in-house is tatama rin yan. There will come a point in time because it's not their business, it's not their job talaga. Tatama rin sila. If they are able to deliver a very good result, they'll just cruise along with that. They're not going to go cutting edge anymore. Unlike kami, negosyo talaga namin yun. We have 60 plus clients relying on us to make sure that they're always number one in Google for their keywords. So we are always at the cutting edge. We're always trying to learn to get ahead of the curve. We're doing our best there. So there's 2 disadvantages of hiring people in-house. What's the advantage? The advantage is you immerse them in your culture. So wala na silang alam kung hindi yung company mo, how you think, what your core values are, what's your mission, what's your vision, what's your core competence, product or service man yan, what separates you from all of your other competitors. So they're well immersed in your entire ecosystem as a company. That for me is the biggest advantage. But what is the cost of that advantage? There are huge costs though. So you have to try and weigh, okay ba ako dun sa cons, but okay ba ako dun sa cons of doing it in-house pag ito naman yung pro. So for some company, definitely yes, like Lazada, because they're an e-commerce company, no-brainer. They have to have an in-house digital marketing team. But other companies, for example, Megworld Manila is our client. It doesn't make sense for them to have it in-house because they're selling condo units in Binondo area. So they outsource to us. So there's pros and cons. Hope I explained it well.
Got it. Let's end this in a very, very light note. So, by the way, Sean, for those who want to know more about Sean, just check out, search na lang SEO hacker or Sean C. Lalabas yan in any browser na gamitan nyo, you'll actually see him. But Twitter is SEO hacker or Sean C.
SEO hacker.
SEO
SEO
hacker.
underscore hacker.
Twitter, SEO_hacker. May question ako, tapos may isa pang question, light note yung last question. Pero, ito question ko na SEO related. Do you think AI will somehow displace SEO? Lalo na ngayon may Bard na yung Google also. Do you think that will happen, that instead of them going sa browser ng Google, they'll go to an AI platform and doon na sila mag-search?
Yep,
Or
definitely.
get ng service nila?
Definitely. I mean, if you could see it, I'm sure other people could see it. And I saw it as well. My kids, they're 6 years old, 8 years old, two boys. Binigyan ko sila ng phone, nakalock lahat. Ang pwede lang nila gawin ChatGPT. Hindi nga pwede Google eh. Oh, kasi pag Google may images and videos and sometimes may nagmumura. I don't want them watching those stuff. I don't want them seeing those things. So, ChatGPT, walang video, walang image, text lang. So, I allow them to use ChatGPT and I make them use my account para nakikita ko yung search history nila or yung prompt history nila sa ChatGPT. But if they're growing up like that, imagine what the future would be like. Like people would hands down be communicating with AI every day. Baka hindi na nga nila ginagamit yung Google eh. Baka, I don't know, right? But it's unlikely. We still have 9 billion searches a day in Google. So marami pa rin yun. I don't think that's gonna go away.
It will take time pa, parang ganun. It will take time.
Yeah, it will take time. But definitely, it's going there. But there's also a solution. Like if you search who is the best SEO company in the Philippines, kay ChatGPT, number 1 lagi si SEO hacker.
Guys, so yan niya, check nyo, go to ChatGPT.
Yeah,
And then,
you can try it right now. Ask ChatGPT, who's the best SEO company, who's the best SEO agency in the Philippines. Number 1, SEO hacker. Even if you regenerate the response, we're still always number 1. Our competitors, number 2 to 10, nag-iiba-iba siya. Hindi ko alam kung bakit, pero iba-iba siya. Si SEO hacker lang lagi yung number 1 na nandun.
Alam mo yung interesting dyan, yun yung gusto ko sa ChatGPT or sa AI eh. If you want to know something, you want to ask something, sasagutin ka talaga eh. Tapos kung ayaw mo yung sagot niya, I don't like your answer, I think that's wrong, sasagutin ko. When you do search, parang lalabas kung sino yung, kasalanan din yung mga nag-SEO actually, kasi lalabas yung pinaka nagra-rank eh, kahit hindi yun yung kailangan mo eh.
Yeah, so there's a way to influence the AI, di ba? Kasi the AI is just learning naman from available data in the public web eh. That's it. So if you are dominant in the public web, a lot of other websites are pointing to your site, they're citing you, they're talking about you, they're featuring you, then it's inevitable for the AI to also recognize who's the best one.
I mean, kunyari mag-search ka, who is the best basketball player? Lalabas websites, tapos yung kailangan mo na sagot, parang it's just a paragraph in that website. So parang, what I feel is, yung advantage siya, parang it saves you time na it will answer you directly na parang what are the ingredients needed in baking a cake. Lalabas na parang you don't have to sift through different websites also na nandun. Parang ganun.
Yeah. So it does the guesswork for you, 'di ba? Diretso na yung sagot.
Got it. This is our last question. We'll end it on a light note. At si Shad, siya talaga yung expert dito. But guys, last show, I'm showing this for the last time. This is Icon. And this is our QR code for the discount that you will get for Icon. It's at buy one, take one for those that are joining this stream right now. Sean, ikaw master dito and feeling ko ikaw makakasagot nito. By the way, sabi ni Keith Hidalgo, AI AI assist is really something. Tapos may sinabi siya, oh no, I'm sorry Sir Sean, but Bard is biased. You
I
guys are
haven't
second.
checked. I haven't
So,
checked Bard, but ChatGPT number one talaga SEO hacker.
okay. Anyways, ito yung last question natin kung makakasagot talaga nito. Sabi ni Francis, Sir Marv, paano po ako sasagutin na liniligawan ko? So ano yung...
O, ikaw yung tinatanong eh.
Wala akong alam sa ganyan eh. So sa tingin mo, hindi kasi
Wala.
siya yung parang nung college or high school, siya yung parang chick boy na parang dating na gano'n.
Yo, grabe. Grabe ka. Grabe
So,
ka. Si
siya yung parang-
Apple first girlfriend ko, bro. Hindi mo ba alam?
Oh,
My wife is my first girlfriend. So, hindi ako nag-chicks nun. Dota addict nga ako eh.
So, yun. So, yun na lang. We'll end it at that. Kung sino yung maging next girlfriend mo, yun na yung pakasalan mo.
Di, pero may sagot naman dyan.
Sige, go.
Pero naman, number one, you gotta be the person that yung nililigawan mo, yung magugustuhan niya. So, you know what ladies are generally attracted to? Disciplined person, undisciplined guy. Disciplined with the body. May growth, may vision in life, may plano sa buhay, di ba? And then, someone who can also have financial stability. So you have to learn personal finance management, get out of debt, diba? Yan, you have to learn these things. You have to be disciplined in going to the gym, in doing your cardio, exercise. That's what I focused on nung manliligaw ko kay Apple. Hindi ako pinapansin nun. So sabi ko, sige, I'll just focus on improving myself. And also my spiritual walk. So I read God's word every day. Just one chapter a day. That's very, very important for me. And all of these things, when you do it daily, it compounds. And there's no way na hindi ka papansinin ng nililigawan mo if you're able to do these things every day, maybe for a year. I don't think di ka niya papansinin.
May tanong ako, may anak ka na babae. What if you manligaw sa kanya? Tinanong ko rin ito kay Randall. What if you manligaw sa kanya later on? Walang kotse or hindi mayaman, okay lang sa'yo?
The first thing I'd like to do is to meet and talk with that person. So, doon mo naman malalaman kung sino yung tao. Diba? As a businessman, I have a lot of deals that I really want to talk with the decision maker on the other side of the negotiation table, because then I try to look them in the eye and figure out what they really want to get out of the business relationship. Kasi parang marriage yan eh. May kontratang every business partner namin. So, I also pick the clients that I have. If I learned that this potential client is unfaithful to his wife, for example, I turn it away. I don't get into business with with those kinds of people. Kasi kung yung asawa nila, kaya nilang ganunin, di ba? Lalo na business partner lang ako. Or lalo na supplier lang ako. So, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well said. Good answer. So, guys, follow Shansi, SEO Hacker. If you need their services, check out SEO Hacker in Google. And ayun, thank you so much, Sean, for your time. I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yun, see you. We'll have another stream tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. But it would be icon related naman. But we'll have more this Thursday and Friday again. So thank you so much, Sean, for joining us. And to everyone, I hope that it's something that was insightful for all of you. So
Welcome to Icon 2018. I'm really excited for all of you and excited for all the speakers. God bless you. Icon is here because we want to encourage people while your economy is growing, while your income is gonna grow, please lang, di ba? I know you like to consume, pero iba naman invest natin. Because investing is delayed, di ba? Actually, investing is what we call deferred consumption.
I'd like this audience, this beautiful audience, to really appreciate what the power of blockchain can do to people, businesses, and even governments.
There's a saying by Dave Ramsey that personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% mindset.
For you guys who are 25, you know what? Laki ng advantage nyo eh. Because when it comes to investing, time is one of your biggest assets. Agree? Yes. And as you start investing, the longer you invest, it's not just about putting money in eh, but you will gain so much experience that, especially in the stock market, it's a tool eh. It's something that you need to sharpen on a regular basis.
There are things na parang walang kwenta. Some of those things are the best investments in your life or in your business.
When opportunity comes, you have to immediately grab it. Yes, it's your second lesson in real estate. When opportunity knocks the second time, be sure you are prepared to grab it. Yes?
SEO is basically the ability to manipulate search results. That is my business. For websites we want to rank up, we can do it.
If you want to be a successful stock market investor, day one, you should know why you are investing.
You see different opportunities as you go around, and the nice thing about it is you see what the reality is on the ground.
Know your passion. What are you fascinated about? What do you love reading? What is on your Facebook feed? Because Facebook knows what your interests are, right? So that is something you can use.
God has already given each and every one of us whatever it takes to succeed.
Nag-seminar ka, hindi ka nag-execute, what did you get? You did not get education. You got entertainment.
The reason why people do not prosper in farms is because they do not see it as a business. And farming is really a business.